Hi, I'm Alicia Kozak. When I was 13 years old, I was kidnapped by an internet predator, but I was rescued because of this missing poster. Since then, I've dedicated my life to giving a voice to victims, survivors, and their families. You're about to watch a parole hearing where a man vehemently denies abusing a 2-year-old girl. He claims the mother made it up. His reason for wanting that pardon? To adopt a child. Will his tears help him get that pardon? Let's watch.
Taking a shower, and I come out of the shower and seen a little kid. I was wearing naked and I started laughing. And I think the mother got upset at me. So she tried to say that I did something to the kid. To make all things okay, I just, pleaded guilty.
Mr. Fleming, are you aware that when we review these cases, we have all the history going back all the way to 1996, which includes your own statements at the time of the incident? There was another child who was present who said that he saw you when you were interviewed. You acknowledged trying to have with a 2-year-old child and you were unable to her and you stopped. The child was taken to the hospital. The child was about 2.5 years old at the time of the offense to those areas.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. At the time, I was just scared, and I just said what they wanted to say. I mean, what I thought that they wanted to hear. I was scared at the time, ma'am, and that's the reason I did it. It was my
Mhm.
cousin.
I know it was your cousin, which makes it even worse because the reason that you give for wanting a pardon is so that you could adopt a child.
Ma'am, I'm just
I don't know where to start on this one. There's more to come on this, but I need to stop and we need to discuss what we just heard because this is wild to me. He's not taking any responsibility for this whatsoever. And this isn't, he's saying, like, I took a plea deal to get out of this. She's saying during the interview, you admitted to this. There were witnesses, there were hospital records. This is as clear cut as it gets. But what blows my mind too is he got probation. He got 5 years probation. He never went to prison for this.
Well, and he certainly has not taken any responsibility at all when he says that the mom made it up because he laughed, and then that he just said that he just pled guilty to make it better, to make it all right. And I can't think who in their right mind would do something like that. What a truly scary person. She ended with why he wanted that pardon there
Yeah.
in her questioning for a moment.
Yep.
That he wants his own child
Mm-hmm.
after he abused an infant, a toddler, a tiny little innocent.
Yeah, and there's more to this story. I'm sure that we're not hearing the whole thing. I'm sure there's more going on behind the scenes, but also what we're gonna hear next too is even more terrifying because that's not the end of it. We're gonna hear from some of his support and also what he's been doing in the meantime since this all happened.
just trying to get my life back together, godly man. And I've been a youth pastor at two different churches, and I'm just trying to get my life back together and get this stuff off of me.
Why is it about your life and not about her life and how this has affected her life?
I never talked to the girl, but I do talk to her brother all the time. Me and her brother, we talk all the time. We go fishing, and I never talked to her or mom. The mother gone with my life and be more godly, godly man.
I am Brad's aunt. I am a retired school teacher. I taught for 30 years. Never have I ever heard of, no one's ever said anything about Brad misbehaving. Not just back then, but even now. He's a good hearted, good person. Good person. He goes to church, sings in the choir. Working with children, you get to know them pretty well. And so I think I'm a pretty good judge of someone's behavior.
For all this,
I don't think she's a good judge of somebody's behavior.
I kept hearing godly. Like he had scripted that. I'm a godly man. I just want to be a godly man. I'm a youth pastor. I mean, she said that he's literally a choir boy. He's on the choir. This none of this has anything to do with what he did.
Not at all. And the fact that she says that she's never heard anybody say that he's misbehaved, she's aligning this sort of abusive behavior with somebody just simply misbehaving. She does not understand the gravity of the situation. And she has heard people speak badly of him because here we are.
Yeah, and it's documented. These aren't just allegations. This is something he admitted to. Again, going back to the beginning, he admitted in the initial interviews that he did this.
Well, nobody's believing, the child was too young to speak, but it seems here that the mom's not being believed by her own relatives.
Yeah.
And she is a victim of this herself. The families are also victims. And so you can see this sort of darkness throughout where he is spending time with her brother. They're going fishing, they're having social outings. This is a really, really messy situation, and he just wants to move on with his life, but it's not so easy for her.
Yes, that happened back when I was 18, 17. I was scared at the time. I didn't know what was going on. I did it because I thought I took a plea deal, and I know I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have. Me and that girl's brother talked all the time. He had no remorse against me. We're best friends. Me and her brother. We go fishing, and I just want to tell the board, I am not a bad guy. I'm just trying to be a godly man. All these people spoke for me. It's all true. I was a youth worker twice at churches, and I would not even think about touching kids. I mean, that's just wrong. I mean, I did what I was supposed to do, step by step, probation, checking my probation officer. I did it for like 6 years, 6 years of my life, never get back. But I just want to move on with my life. Me and my wife, we ever have kids. Because when I got canceled, they said I couldn't have kids. It's just like, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Look at the fact that you downplayed so much of what happened in this case that you really can't bring yourself to acknowledge that you touched this child inappropriately. You even have a tendency to blame her. She was running around you naked, which is a very common thing that happens with people who molest children. They somehow find a way to make it the child's responsibility.
So my vote today is to deny your application. So you've received a unanimous vote, sir. But we wish you to continue to do well. Good luck, sir.
So those tears, they seemed a bit sudden and forced. While it's very sad that he is going through an illness and all of this, those tears looked, I don't know, it just didn't feel genuine. I don't get anything genuine out of this man at all.
I heard one more bonus godly man in the last time we spoke.
Yeah, in the same exact tone, in the same exact way. It's like he practiced that part, and so many of the offenders do rely on that it seems like if you're a good person after this happened, you're not going to do it again, whereas you could have been a good person and have done this. It just doesn't add up. And it doesn't, because you're doing good things, it doesn't mean that you can't also do absolutely horrendous things.
Yeah, you can be a godly man and do terrible things too. It's not some kind of magic potion that you drink and makes you no longer this kind of person.
It'd be nice if it were, but
What scares me too is the way he's constantly been around children. As if even if this was just an accusation, why would you put yourself around like children? It's like he's trying to and he's proud of it. He's trying to say, let's prove I'm a good person because I work around children and I haven't done anything to children, so I should be able to have adopt a child too. I mean, I don't buy it.
and people in his life are so supportive of him. Everybody around him is feeding into this denial.
And you also have to wonder too if there is some internal discord with the family too. Why do we not hear from any the victim's viewpoint in this? And we've seen that before, where especially you have a tight knit family, one of them has an accusation, and then they all turn on each other and could have been too afraid to show up to cause problems. But as we saw today, they didn't buy it.